What is happening, guys? Martin Martinez back again. You know where we are, so let's get into it. So, guys, touching base with you in respect to this fragrance. Now I know we're in the summer months slightly now, especially in the UK, and it's getting towards obviously slightly more summery fragrances. But one thing I just came across in my collection, you may have, if you follow me on, say, for instance, on Instagram, please check out obviously down below. But if you follow me on Instagram, you may see some fragrances that I do upload from time to time. I don't get too deep on the fragrances on my Instagram. By all means, if you want to follow me, guys, and see what I get up to, the things I do, by all means, go and check me out on there. Anyway, in respect of this particular fragrance, now the question was asked, why do I like Zara fragrances so much, or why do I always talk about Zara fragrances? Hey, that's just how the channel started. I just started reviewing these fragrances because they were cheap to buy, and there were some good gems. And this is one of those gems that I feel I have to mention. It's been a while. It came out in 2016. It's a fragrance which, if you're accustomed to this particular fragrance, we've touched on obviously before, this fragrance obviously is a vibrant leather oud. Not necessarily even sure when it releases. It's probably like 2018, 2019 or so. It's not been out particularly that long, I don't believe. Could even be 2018, who knows. I've obviously done my reviews on this one. I've mentioned why I don't like it, and the reasons why I don't like it is because Zara have actually released fragrances with the title of oud in there that actually were potentially, if you didn't necessarily know the house, you could have thought, is this maybe borderline niche quality stuff? The fragrance I'm referring to didn't necessarily have a alcoholic opening. It was woodsy, it lasted, and again, this oud element was there. So if you do like, you know, the oud is quite a unique type of scent in my opinion, and it's one of those things that it can be very sexy, it can be very smooth, or it can be very harsh, it can be very brash, it can be very in your face, as fragrances go. Again, if you're not necessarily into woodsy notes when it comes to fragrances, or, you know, for maybe more winter notes, autumn sort of fragrances, oud may not be for you. But again, I've been pleasantly surprised with oud. Tom Ford's oud, for example, takes on a slightly sweeter note, while this particular oud does, how can I say, it maintains the oud essence, but again, it's not too overbearing, it's not too in your face, and the longevity is there. Now, this particular fragrance, again, is a big talk up I'm giving it, so, you know, just bear with me, guys. This particular fragrance came out in 2016. This is one of Zara's fragrances, which cost me, I think at the time, I've looked on the website, it's no longer available, and it cost me at the time probably around about, at least probably around about £20 or so, give or take, and that is this one, guys. Now, I did talk about Amber Noble, which came out again along this particular line within these particular bottles. And this one is actually called Exclusive Oud Zara by Man, or Zara by Man, Zara Man, Exclusive Oud, whatever it may be. Exclusive Oud Zara for him. And guys, I mean, ultimately, I mean, you can see how much juice I have in there. And the reason why I have so much juice in there, I mean, I've had this bottle probably from about at least 2018. And again, when I spray it now, I mean, the spray is actually very good. I don't want to spray it because I don't want to sneeze, but the spray is particularly good. I'm going to spray it in the cap. And this is one of those fragrances, guys, that lasts. And because it lasts, I don't actually need to spray a lot. The opening is not particularly alcoholic. There's a smooth creaminess that you get from this particular fragrance. I mean, it's one of those things, in my opinion, that this is probably one of the better, or if not in line with the best Zara fragrances that I've actually smelled in the whole time I've been reviewing these fragrances. And I've been doing my reviews now for, especially Zara fragrances, at least probably about, we're going into the second year now, guys. This is one of those fragrances, in my opinion, once this becomes available, hopefully it's not being reformulated, go and get at least a, even if there's small decants of it, go and get a sniff on this one, guys. It's no longer available now, unfortunately, but this is one, again, I would highly recommend it. 2018, this one came out, Exclusive Oud. I mean, this particular one, as I say, I don't know what they're doing with this one. The juice, again, is just a bit of a brown tint to it, but again, to me, this is not oud. This is not what Zara's capable of. So someone's made that decision in that respect. Now, this one, again, it's a woodsy. It's not necessarily fresh, but it does have a spicy element to it with the woodsy notes, and again, obviously the oud in there. And just to break down on Fragrantica alone, it's just saying that it has the oud note as the top note, and then also it's just got oriental woods, and that's it. Simplicity, but quality, and that's the difference. That is the difference, guys. I cannot necessarily say, in my opinion, I've been around wearing this enough to get compliments, because the occasion wasn't necessarily right. If you go into the club, this is not really a clubbing fragrance. I don't think I have worn Tom Ford's Oud to the club, but this one, because that's slightly sweeter, this one is slightly more masculine. It's like a warm, I think it's got amber in the base as well for this one. It's a warm oud, not necessarily overly sweet, but again, it's not sour, and equally it's got the spicy note there as well. I do believe, again, if you were to have a sort of like blind buy, or you didn't necessarily even know the bottle, you could even mistake this one to think this is slightly more, if not designer, probably going into niche quality. You probably won't believe this one was £20, so to speak, when I paid for it at the time. The longevity in this one, guys, easily, and I'm not even moving my body, and I can smell it as well, pumping off, easily coming at least into 4 or 5 hours plus. And again, it depends on the context. I would only wear this one in the cold winter months, or maybe even autumn. I mean, the bottle gives you that sort of indication as well, but because this lasts so long and because of the depth to it, I think in the summer months it'd be too heavy. I don't believe it'd be appropriate then. I mean, I've just tried to look at the comments on Fragrantica, and everyone's putting this down to be long lasting, and I do believe it's long lasting. It's the sort of fragrance that, if you are into these sort of Eastern fragrances, for example, I believe it's easily going to fall into that category, but I believe also that it could hold on its own in that sort of scenario with its spicy and sort of woodsy notes going on. Easily, guys, this is probably one of the best fragrances in my opinion, if not one of, or again in the top 5 that Zara have released in respect of their particular line of fragrances. So by all means, guys, unfortunately it's not available anymore. Definitely get your hands on this one when it becomes available. I'm not being sponsored to necessarily mention this, but hey, you know, again, I just want to share the knowledge on it. That is a very good fragrance. Even just looking at Fragrantica, a lot of people are saying, you know, I'm collecting new fragrances and still have a few bottles of this particular fragrance. You know, some people have bought a few bottles of it when it was available. For some reason, they discontinued it. They'll bring it out again, but I don't understand why it's been discontinued. You know, people are even saying like, wow, stocks are lasting, and even then they're being told there's none left. Shame, real shame, because, and again, this is the person who even comment this has Simply Put Sense. So he's even, I don't know if it's actually him or necessarily his logo. Simply Put Sense, so it could even be his logo, and he's even saying, you know, real shame, exclusive oud was one of the gems of the entire lineup of gems of men's scents from Zara. Great smell for the price. I mean, it's fantastic, guys. So someone asked me the other day, what is the sexiest fragrance from Zara's collection? I'm not necessarily going to say this one, but I do believe that this would fall into it. I just can't necessarily say from my thoughts, so to speak, because I've not actually had any ladies comment on this one. I wasn't doing reviews at the time when I was wearing this particular fragrance. And again, it needs to be in the right sort of a setting for it. So I will do a review as to what I believe is the sexy Zara fragrance. But in all honesty, guys, make sure you don't forget to get a copy of this one, or get a copy of this one. Get your hands on this one when you can. This is a beast. This is a beast. When it comes to beast mode, and again with oud as well, you don't want it to be too overpowering. It's like becomes even sour and cloying, and you're wearing something you don't want to necessarily smell it. But this is one of the fragrances which is cool, calm, collected. It lets you know it's there. It gives you wafts of it when it's there. If you're moving around, you're gonna get that scent trail as well. You do get a bit of a bubble, and again, it's not overpowering. It's a gentleman sort of smell, and that's what I'm gonna say. This is a gentleman, masculine, spicy oud note that is always coming off from, pumping off from what you sprayed. It's a good quality fragrance, guys, just not available anymore. So hopefully, guys, if you check this one out, please let me know down in the comments. I do thank you very much as well, guys, for the comments that you're making. It's really encouraging for me to keep the channel going. And I also want to say a big thank you to the new subscribers and the old subscribers. So you guys have been following me when I had like less than 100 people on the channel, and now there's like over 1,000, nearly 2,000. So please do get the subscriptions up, guys. I do appreciate it very much, and it also encourages me to keep giving the content as well. And if you help me, I help you. If this will save you some time and some money, please do not forget to give a like to the video, and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you soon on the next video, guys. Go and check this one out. Don't worry about this one, as I mentioned before. This is just a pale imitation of what Zara is capable of. Zara, stop changing it. I don't know why you're doing that. See you soon, guys, on the next video. Ciao, ciao.